why do you think these violent films or aggressive films are being lapped up? Is it that the ambience around us, the environment around us has become aggressive, has become violent, and this content is loved by people?
I think action films.
And does it also start probably a trend of the movies which you may see later, which some people are worried about?
I don't look at it like that. I mean, I feel that today we are in a stage where we are open to, everything. Like, we are consuming international content as well. And there's much more violence there than there is in Indian cinema, right? Because we do have a censor board, and we can, not go all out as actors or as directors. You still have to, restrict yourself in certain areas. But today we have, everything available to us. We can watch content from anywhere and everywhere, and we are watching violent films. I'm not someone who loves action. Like, I'm not a fan of action. But, if there's an action film, I'll watch it. But that doesn't mean that I go home and I start behaving like the people in the film, right? And yeah, I think a film is a film, and action was there since the beginning. I mean, if you start keeping these things in mind, like, I'll give you a very small example. When I did Bulbul, there was a rape scene in Bulbul, and Kala, there was a suicide scene in Kala. So many people messaged me saying that they were appreciating the film, they loved the film, but that scene should not have been there because it triggered something in us. That scene should not have been there, it triggered something in us. But when you're making a film, you can't keep these things in, like, then you won't feel free as a creative person. You will be like, okay, this is my template, these are the rules that I can follow, and these are the things that I cannot add to my film. Then how are you an artist? Then if your freedom is taken away, then you don't perform. Because when we are on a set with a director who gives us a free hand and who's like, this is the brief, this is the intention of the scene, you go do it. That's when magic happens. That's because you're free. You're not thinking about, okay, these are the instructions given to us, and this is the way I have to say my lines, and this is where I have to stand, this is where I have to look at the other person. When these instructions are not given, then you give your best shot. And this is something that I have observed. When you're given these instructions, then because you're standing there and you're only thinking about those instructions, you're not honest in the moment, and you're not real, and your performance goes for a toss. And I've had conversations with a lot of actors, and they feel the same. So it is the same with people who are creating stories. If you keep telling them that keep this out of it, keep this out of it, keep that out of it, what will you make? And
how much of free hand does Sandeep Reddy give?
He gives, he just gives you this intention of the scene, and he says, now do it. And he's someone who's like constantly observing you. So if I'm having a chat with him outside of the scene, he'll keep noticing you, and he'll be like, oh, what did you do 5 minutes back? Just, your expression was good. Just use that expression. If it comes. If it doesn't come, we do something else. But keep it easy. He keeps it very easy. Like, he gives you a free hand. He lets you do your thing. And after and he really involves you in a scene. Like, it's not like, tumhara chota role hai film mein, so you're not important. Because after every scene, he would call me to the monitor, make me watch the whole take. And he's so prepared that his BGM was ready when we were shooting. So mujhe, honestly, in that moment, I thought, okay, hota hai na kuch feel ke liye kuch music chala diya, and he's making me watch the take with that music. But when I watched the film, I was like, oh God, this was ready when we were shooting. So, it makes you feel really special, and, makes you give your 100% as an actor when your director is, so involved with the scenes and keeping you involved.
I think that increases your faith in the director.
Exactly.
And plus it reduces your inhibitions also.
Exactly.
If he allows you to
be yourself, to do
the
what
scene
you
in
feel.
3-4 ways. Yeah.
Yes. And there was no, that confession scene that is there in the film. I was so nervous that day. And, I'm not boasting about myself, but I can cry like that. But that day I could not cry. Like, I just could not get myself to feel anything. And I was just feeling, because I was so nervous. I had forgotten all my lines. And I was like, anything that could go wrong that day was going wrong. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And once you're stuck in that cycle, then you're stuck. Then it's difficult to get out of it because you're only thinking about that. And we were supposed to finish that scene in half a day, but I took the whole day. I couldn't finish the scene in half a day, and not even for 5 minutes did he make me feel that, you know, we're losing light, we're losing time. Why aren't you doing it properly? He was very patient. Even Ranbir, like, he's like, this is your scene. You want my closes first or yours? You let me know, this is your scene. We'll do it your way, however you're comfortable. So it was, you know, they make you feel very special, and they make you feel like you're an integral part of everything that's happening, and it just gives you that confidence. बल्कि उस दिन कुछ काम नहीं किया मैंने